Sri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Sri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Sri Ram
Jai Jai Ram Om Sri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om Sri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om Sri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om Sri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om Sri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om Sri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om Sri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om Sri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om
Jai Jai Ram Sri Ram Jai Ram 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 Jai Jai Ram Sri Ram Jai Ram.
To know who you are in reality is the real quest. To arrive at this truth, you have to, by a systematized process of thought and discipline, transcend all human limitations set by the body, mind and intellect, and then, embarking on the realm of the spirit, realize your immortal, changeless, blissful nature. This constitutes religion. Religion is not to be understood in the way in which it is understood today. Mahatmas and Papa have specifically given us religion means binding back to our original source. Param Puja Swamiji used to say, going back to our real home. That is religion. So how to go back to my real home? I should know my origin. This is how first the spiritual journey starts. For that prayer, to know who you are in reality is the real quest. Because I feel I am this name and form. I am what is identified by others as I am. If we carefully analyze, we have never bothered to understand who we really are. I am so and so, no? That's what we say. What are you, who are you, suppose we ask, we say the name and the profession we have. Just imagine. Because at no time we have made an effort to know who our reality. What is projected and what is identified by others is what we feel we are. So that is why Papa is touching the basic fundamentals. Try to enter into the mysterious origin of your and the world life. To know who you are in reality is the real quest. Every one of us can look back and ask ourselves. Suppose somebody asks, what do we say about ourselves? Immediately we say our name, form, our position, our relationship, the so-called status, anything that is external. Never have I looked within to find out where from this sense of I-ness comes. Only when I am taken to a spiritual preceptor, slowly, they give us in so many forms. For example, when we are drawn to Prabhupada here, it's a small book. The first page, this is the compilation from his letters by a great devotee. Hands off to them because the Harishri is given in the first chapter. I have not so far applied my mind. When we read, we will think about it. We are always referring ourselves to what others have understood. So this should be very clear to us. So prayer helps us to know our original reality. So original reality is there, presupposes, we believe in the words of Shastras and Masters. There is a reality and there is a projected individuality. So Papa wants us to enter into this. So for the entrance first is prayer. We try to bring all his attributes. We try to bring in as many dimensions as possible that will give us clarity of his existence within. And various Shastras has also come. So here he is specific. To arrive at this truth, you have to, by a systematized process of thought and discipline. Each one is unique, so there can't be any general prescription. Some normal guidance is there, no doubt. But how will the mind react? How will the intellect react? How will the body react? It changes from person to person. Same situation, you and me react differently. So we have to now evolve out, chalk out a systematized process of thought and discipline. That word is very important. Normally we all jump into some activity. What somebody says, we will just follow. It's alright. Initially, very rare people only question themselves like Ramana Bhagavan. We follow. Normally, when a spiritual institution is there, when we are taken to the spiritual institution, when we try to hear a master's word, when we happen to read some of this, we are enthused, inspired, we go there. We straight away try to follow what they are doing. And in that process, to be very frank, it may be a crude statement, we have forgotten the purpose for which we are come. When we hear this, to know who you are in reality is the real quest. Papa brings it out because that is how he travelled. He did not follow any traditional method. He did not join any organization. He did not have a guru with whom he travelled a lot, with whom he spent a lot. No, absolutely he was independent of his own. So all these things, questions are, and he is trying to find out the answer by himself. And many of his musings, something very nice. So many are there. How God came into my life. The human being is gifted with reason, which can be best utilized by him to develop a keen aspiration for God, backed up with intense dispassion for sense enjoyments. The human being is gifted with reason, which can be best utilized by him to develop a keen aspiration for God, backed up with intense dispassion for sense enjoyment. He is bringing out how he moved from his inward journey. We are not talking about the outward. Outward everybody knows. The inward journey. Now what is the aim of life? It is happiness. This cherished aim is fulfilled by realizing God who is eternal happiness. Happiness, eternal happiness. So the reason helped him. The pleasures I derived from the objects of the senses were not only transitory, but were also accompanied by pain and grief, a fact I came to know too well. So I engaged myself in an all-round effort to divert the mind from the ephemeral objects to the eternal source of life, God. God who is the absolute existence, consciousness and bliss. He is within me. Withdrawing the mind from the unreal, external things of life, I let it flow continuously towards Him through a steady remembrance brought about by a ceaseless chanting of His holy name. Constant remembrance purified and controlled my mind. It is not merely chanting. Now the mysterious grace of the Guru, which awakened me in the first instance to see God, completed its task by removing the mask of ignorance which enveloped my soul for ages, with the result that a flood of illumination poured out, permeating my body, senses and all the worlds. In this splendor, my soul was lost, individual soul, followed by the dawn of a cosmic consciousness and the knowledge of my still and all-pervading Atman, or Self. Yet another vision, more exalted, more perfect and more joyous, awaited my illumined self. And this is the fusion of the Atman with the universal manifestation. In other words, I realize that the Atman and the universe are one. This magnificent vision and experience, based on the realization of the Absolute Self, transformed me, the human being, into the veritable embodiment of God in all its aspects. As my soul stepped from the animal into the human, it is now stepped from the human into the divine, the Purushottama, the spiritual cum physical evolution, the grandest finale, the supreme fulfillment of God's will, to reveal Himself in all His sublimity in this human being. Verily, God is the seeker, God is the sought. This is His inscrutable Leela. Truly, my soul and God, Jiva and Brahman are all one.
Sri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram, Sri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram, Om Sri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram, Om Sri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram, 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 Om Sri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram, Om Sri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram.
That is why he wrote like this. Try to enter into the mysterious origin. Now when we talk of where from the sound comes, where from the power to hear, the power to see, the power to think, where from it comes? What is the origin? First I should try to understand the origin of myself. And then we find that revealment helps us to know the origin of the entire manifested world. And the third one is to maintain the relationship. So long as we are embodied, this relationship is maintained. And again, in order that we don't forget or neglect the most important aspect in spiritual journey, to know who you are in reality is the real question. That is why we have been chanting, rendering all the poems. Some way, not all the words, not all prayers, but some prayer will definitely help us. So in order to develop this constancy in our nearness to God, there are so many ways. If we don't want to go very deeper into it, there is a prayer connecting up with the grosser things. The sun shines for others, trees bear fruit for others, rivers flow for the good of others, cows yield milk for others. Human birth is likewise meant for doing good to others. We have a most important and compelling work to do. For each of us is someone that God is working through. Yesterday also we saw, in Shivanandaji's prayer. Because each one of us is someone that God is working through. God gave us willing, caring hands to perform some helpful deed. God gave us sympathetic words to answer someone's need. God gave us soft hearts to aid another along the way. God gave us smiles and laughter to brighten someone's day. God gave us all these treasured gifts for helping one another. God works through us all so that we care for each other. It's a simple prayer. Not much we have. All things which are seen by us, which are perceived by us, we don't require extra thinking. Plain fact. Through that we are trying to see the great provider. We are not seeing through, we are trying to have some idea about the great provider who has provided everything, who has been providing till this moment. We normally take everything as granted. So when Papa wants all of us to go back to our origin, when Papa wants all of us to know who we are in reality, we first take some guide, some clues, some hints about the great provider. He has provided everything. Nothing is mine. Slowly I start the inward journey. When I start analyzing the reason, he said the reason helps us. The human being is gifted with reason, which can be best utilized by him to develop a keen aspiration for God, backed up with intense dispassion for sense enjoyments. I keep on watching, right from my childhood onwards. Everything I get attached to, fascinated into, I try to possess it, enjoy it, but it is not everlasting. After some time finished, the charm is gone. This is the reason. That is how the dispassion starts. So Papa wants every one of us, in order to keep up that tempo, we have been asked to remember him, and for remembering him the chanting came. This foundation was there. Without that foundation, when we start doing it, Papa himself has said, even if we chant for 100 years, it will not be helpful.
Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram, Sri Ram, 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 Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram, Sri Ram.
Each one, without each one, without all these, I don't become full. So to function even as an individual, he has provided the great provider. I have not done anything for it. We simply, we cannot utter any word after seeing that. Something else knows the body does not know itself. There is the subject, the self, the knower, the observer, apart from the body. That is how we started the chapter with the discrimination between the known and the knower. It was also said that the knower in one body is not different from the knower in another body. There is only one knower in all the kshetras. Sri Krishna had said, one infinite self exists in all of us. The bodies are many, but the self is one. But in you, in me, there is also a false self. The self conditioned by the body-mind complex, the genetically conditioned self. That makes me separate from you. I become your enemy. I may exploit you. I may kill you. All this because this self is caught up in the body-mind complex and cannot escape. But the real self will only release love, concern, service, dedication to the world outside. So Papa said, who we are, what is that word?
To know who we are.
To know who you are in reality is the real question. To know who you are in reality, not this false self. That makes me separate from you. I become one. This is the teaching. Here in this word, Sri Krishna is telling us, Yatha Ravihi Prakashayati. Just as the sun illumines Ekaha alone, the sun alone illumines the whole solar system. Nothing else illumines it. About 8,000 million miles across is the spread of the solar light. 4,000 or so million miles will be the frontier of the solar system. The space vehicle Voyager is slowly going out of the solar system. A wonderful human achievement. If that is so, how much space is covered? Millions of miles, all illuminated by one single sun. S-U-N. That is taken as the example here. Sri Krishna says, just as the single sun illumines the entire world, meaning thereby the solar system, similarly, Kshetram, Kshetri, Tatha, Krishnam, Prakashayati. This Kshetri or the knower of the Kshetra, our body, illuminates all Kshetras, our bodies. O Arjuna, that is the wonderful last but one verse of this 13th chapter. The stress on unity, the stress on equality is there again and again in the Gita. Ekameva Advitiyam. It is one alone and non-dual, there is no second. It is not monism, it is Advaita, non-dualism, non-separateness, absence of otherness. So Sri Krishna says, all kshetras or bodies everywhere are illumined by one kshetri or self.
Sri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Sri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Sri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram.
We are still there, you know. We don't want moksha, we don't want. So I think if it is not perfectly right, but still I agree, we are something like that. Among those that are bound, some struggle and are able to jump out of the net. They are called the muktas. But quite a few of them do not even know that they are caught in the net. They are quite happy there. They bite the net and quietly live there. That is another type of human beings, the Baddha, the bound souls. So Sri Ramakrishna says 4 types of human beings are there: Baddha, Mumukshu, Mukta, Nitya Mukta. One is the bound one, quite happy to be bound. He or she is Baddha and does not know that after some time he or she will be hauled up and destroyed. That farsight is not there, but some are struggling. They are not happy with this bondage to nature. They are called Mumukshus, the struggling person who desire to be free. Then Mukta, those who escape from this kind of bondage and become free. And the 4th is the Nitya Mukta, the ever free. No bondage can ever bind them. Maya cannot take them in its net. In the life of Sri Ramakrishna, we find 2 characters. One is Narendra and later Vivekananda, whom Ramakrishna used to call Nitya Mukta, Nitya Siddha, ever free, ever perfect. Maya could not catch Swami Vivekananda. The other was Durgacharan Nag, a householder devotee, a doctor, and a wonderful person. So this is how in these words it is said that those who know this truth, they become free. They attain the supreme stage. So the whole chapter is ended with the statement that we can struggle and be free, and that we can understand the truth of things, that we can remove our separateness and see the one in the many, one from which the many has come.
Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Sri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Sri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram.
After that, I look around me. Everywhere I find myself revealed in 1,000 forms. What glory, what joy in seeing myself as all. What beauteous scenes are unfolded before my eyes. The mountains with emerald verdure spreading over them. The sparkling lake tranquil like my peaceful mind. The grey mist gradually rising and enveloping the mountain. Lake and all lake, the veil of Maya covering the splendor of my soul. How varied and picturesque is my manifestation. I am a child of eternal light and joy. My body thrills to the music of the worlds dancing around each other in space. Ecstasy is my being. Love is the fragrance I shed on all. To my heart clings 1,000,000 hearts. My eyes behold my beloved everywhere, wherever they cast their glance. I look small, but I am infinite. My thought embraces the whole universe. I am the child, innocent, pure, that dwells in the hearts of all beings and things. I sleep in some, awake in others, play in waves of delight in some others. I am still, yet I move all the worlds. I am the child of the eternal. I am the eternal. I behold myself as all. I shut my eyes, and in the effulgence of the inner light, I see countless worlds. I open them, and I am all the worlds. In waking, I am the cosmic. In dream, I am the cosmic. I am. In sleep, there is one, and that is the cosmic I. You truly love all when you feel one with all. Love is the light of the spirit. Realize the spirit, you are filled with love. Get the flower, and you have its beauty and fragrance. In color, see harmony. In light, see joy. In the outward forms and in depth of things, behold yourself. You are the truth. Come one and all. See in me yourself. For I see myself in you all. You are my life. my breath, my soul. You are my forms, all. When I love you, I love myself. So do you love in me, love me. My seeing is loving. How can I help it? Oh beloved ones, you are my own dear self. I am divorced from myself so that I may love myself. Distance does not obstruct the flow of my love. Love travels quicker than thought. It is the invisible mystic touch. Beauteous blossoms of light in charming tints flash through my mind. I gaze on, lose myself in them, become the blossoms. I sense the stillness of the air and the softness that permeates, and I am dissolved. I revel in the glory of my soul and melt away into its supernal ecstasy. Once in a way to go through that revelations. Because now He is providing, facilitating us. First you go through some prayer. Then you should know that who you are in reality. Then try to see, try to separate yourself from that which is not yours. Then later on, everything is yours. But initially it has to be done. Because we have not understood ourselves. Papa's life, it's a great lesson for all. The individual was there, the individual is there. But before, the individual was limiting itself to individual. Then the process started. That there is a knower of the individual and the individual. And later on, both of them fused into one. The individual is also there, the knower is also there. And that knower is, that stage, he says the knower is one, only one. The known is different, knower is one. If we can capture, this is what is spirituality. Spirit in me is the spirit everywhere. So first intellectually we keep on building up this thought, and then we know, we forget, we become an individual again when we deal with men and matters. So that is why he said a systematized thought and discipline. A systematized thought and discipline is needed to connect ourselves with this ideal. We have to evolve. Nam Seva Dhyan is there, but still something else is also needed from our individual side. What is that? Only that person will know. How will he know? Only by getting in touch with the indwelling spirit he will know.
Sri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram, Sri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram.